Right now, a lot of people are really worried. They're like, Kris, the hyperinflation, is it actually gonna hurt me? Well, it might, or maybe it won't.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Well, with my dollars losing value due to the inflation, I'm just buying as much cool stuff as I can before they become basically worthless. Like this cool guy over here. Everyone wants to know, Kris, how will hyperinflation hurt me? Basically, we have a money bomb and it is about to go off. A lot of people really don't actually understand what inflation is. Over the last 100 years, did you know that your dollar each year loses on average 3.1% of its value? That means if you put $100 in the bank today, next year, it's going to feel with buying power like it's only worth $97. And there are some things that the government does that can make that number go up. And if it goes up high enough, then we experience not normal inflation, not big inflation, it's called hyperinflation because it means that we're losing so much value of the dollar, prices skyrocket. The question is that already kind of happening right now? Investopedia defines hyperinflation as a term to describe rapid, out of control general price increases in an economy. While inflation is a measure of the pace of rising prices for goods and services, hyperinflation is rapidly rising inflation, typically measuring more than 50% per month. Well, let me just ask you if some of these things start to smell a little bit like hyperinflation. Check this out. Did you know that chicken breast has gone up 110% in the last 5 months? Everyone knows what's happening with lumber and steel. Lumber is up 280% in just the last year. Oil prices are on the rise, and you know what? It doesn't stop there. Everything seems to be going up in value. So why is this happening right now? Well, think about what the government did this last year because of the pandemic. Have you heard about all that stimulus money? Since the onset of the pandemic, Uncle Sam has poured more than $5 trillion into the economy. $5 trillion. Where'd that come from? Where'd they find all that gold? Oh, that's right. It's fiat money, fake money. We literally, if we want more of it, we just print more of it. But if you print enough of it, guess what it will do to the value? It will drop it like a rock. There's a reason why people love Bitcoin. It's because if you want more of it, they're not creating any more of it, which basically means that its scarcity drives its price up. Here's a currency that goes up in value, US dollar. So where did that 5T go? Well, did you know that Americans have saved $3 trillion of it? It was meant to be put into the economy and stimulate the movement of cash. That hasn't happened. It can't just be the stimulus money that is causing this inflation. Why else is my chicken costing so freaking much? Let's talk about jobs. Did you know currently in America, there are 7.4 million job openings? You think that's got to be a good thing. Like everyone who's been out of work has got to say, hallelujah, it's time to get a job. And you know what? In April, when they came out with the report, everyone was hoping that at least 1 million of those jobs would have been taken. But that's not what happened. Out of the 1 million expected jobs, only 266,000 of those jobs were added. And people are saying, wait a second. People need jobs. We have crazy unemployment and we have a demand for the jobs. So why aren't people getting hired? Check this out. We're starting to look a little bit more like a socialistic country. I lived in Germany for 2 years. I know how the story goes. Check it out. Many people are currently actually collecting $400 to $800 a week from unemployment. Why on earth would they try to get a job that may not even be paying $15 an hour if they can just sit on their butts? Right now, we've got the system working against incentivizing people to actually get jobs. Could that be factoring in? Here's why. So if businesses can't hire people, they can't afford to keep their doors open. Manufacturing plants, restaurants, they've been hit super hard because they're posting saying, we're hiring. No one's taking a job. And look how desperate businesses are getting right now. A Burger King in Washington, Pennsylvania is offering a $1,500 freaking bonus just to get someone to take a job. A McDonald's in Florida is giving people $50 just to show up for an interview. And an energy company in Texas is offering new truck drivers $14,000 a week in compensation. Here's the bottom line. Check this out. When you have the rising cost of labor go up, Ultimately, that gets passed on to you and I as the cost of product prices also going up. Listen, they may not be calling this hyperinflation right now. I don't think anyone wants to use that word, but make no mistake, if it's not hyperinflation, what else would you call this? And yet, why am I so excited about making a video about hyperinflation? It's because it's not all bad news. If you keep your money in a 401k, it's horrible news. Hyperinflation is bad for money sitting in a bank account or your stock brokerage account. Literally, if your money is being used to buy crap, it's bad news all around. But if you have your money sitting in a tangible asset like real estate, that is actually good news. In fact, you probably know that in the last 12 months, home prices are up 16%. And I actually want to show you what that means and actually why that is some really good news. Let's just say for a moment that you have a $300,000 house. And I'm going to multiply that by 16%. And check that out. 16% of $300,000 is a $48,000 price increase. Well, if these economic situations don't alter in the next 4 or 5 years, what would happen if you had 15% or 20% or even 10% increase year over year over year over year? For the next 5 years, this $300,000 house could literally become a $600,000 house, which means if you were to sell this home and time it right in the market and make $300,000, let me ask you, could you do with an extra third of $1,000,000? Or you might be thinking, Kris, if I bought 5 homes right now, are you saying in the next 5 years, by renting them out and collecting positive cash flow and selling them in 5 years, are you saying that that could be a path to me literally becoming a millionaire or making my next $1,000,000? Well, it's actually better than that. There's a way to leverage real estate in a manner where you can make so much money in the next 5 years if you know what you're doing. You just have to know somebody that really knows what they're doing. You know, like be a subscriber to this cool guy's channel. His name starts with a K, Kris Krohn, what is it? And then you decide to partner with him where he exposes you to his entire system where he's buying a home like every freaking day and it's freaking like your birthday every single day. That's exactly how it feels in my life right now. So let me quiz you. What is the ultimate hedge against inflation? You're looking at it. It's called real estate. You want to own property and you should be owning cash flow producing real estate. And I'm just telling you right now, you could wait a century and you wouldn't have a better 5-year period of time than what we're facing right now. Anytime financially it looks like we're on the verge of a global financial crisis or things are financially really out of whack, there's always silver lining, and it's usually found in the game of real estate. Now, if you're not set up to make $1,000,000 in the next 5 years, I want you to click the link below and say, hey, Kris, do you have access to a simple turnkey system where you've done maybe $1 billion worth of real estate, over 5,000 properties, and you could make this really simple and passive for me? Truth is, I do that every single day. And if you want to know what that looks like, if you want to play the game of real estate like a pro, click the link below, partner with me. Let me show you how to get your money, that equity in your house that just gone up in value. Let me show you how you can borrow literally the cheapest money on the planet from the bank, drop it into real estate and make some crazy real money. Man, Kris, this sounds so good, but you've probably heard a lot of people are worrying right now that maybe we're in a bubble. Like, how much higher can the housing market prices really go up? Well, that might actually surprise you. I've got some science and data that you really need to review. It's found in this video right here. I'm going to show you what can actually happen to the real estate market, and it should put an even bigger smile on your face. You know why people love Bitcoin? That time bomb. What did I just say?